What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Jerry, and today's video is going to be on the Orlando Magic, and we're going to be talking about how this team can still be successful in the future, man. And we're going to hop right into this video. Now, we're going to kind of recap the Orlando Magic, this past season. Now, they finished 21-51, 14th in the East. And at the trade deadline, man, they looked at their roster, and, the front office just thought, we just going to, we're going to kind of flip this team. And we're going to look to build for the future. They traded away Jokic, they traded away Aaron Gordon. And, it seemed to work out well. That draft pick, that trade, the draft pick they got for Jokic from the Chicago Bulls, it turned out to be, an 8th pick, because when Jokic went to Chicago, they still continued to lose. So it worked out for the Magic. They got an 8th pick. And then the Orlando's Magic, their own pick, it turned out to be the 5th pick in the draft. So the Orlando Magic is going to have, two picks in the draft that's top 10. So, that's big time, and that can improve your roster in a multitude of ways. But, before we get into that, man, when I look at this Orlando Magic roster, you see, they already got some players on this team that got some pretty decent talent. And, and we haven't seen much of Jonathan Isaac, but coming out of high school, not coming out of high school, but coming out of college and coming into the NBA, people were so big on this guy because, how can you not be? He's like 6'11", 7 feet. He has a huge wingspan, and he can pretty much do, just about everything on the basketball court. He's very athletic. He can play defense, and then on the offensive side of the ball, he can shoot the ball. He can put the ball on the floor, and he can bang down low. So he's really just a matchup nightmare, because you can put him at the 4, you can put him at the 5 if you need to be, and if he's out there on the perimeter with a smaller guy on him, he can just shoot right over him. And then when he can rebound, and then when he gets out on the break and run the floor, he's like a wing. So, to me, Jonathan Isaac is, he has so much potential, and he's sort of a hybrid player. If I had to tell you what position he played, I really can't tell you, man. He's one of those type of players. He just can do so many things on the basketball court. It's just that, he hasn't been able to get healthy yet. So, once he gets healthy, I'm so excited to see what he's going to be. It's going to be fun watching him play. And then, some other players on this team. You look at, I'm gonna try to say this guy's name correctly, man. He was drafted in 2019. Chuma, it's either Chuma Okeke or Chuma Okeke. And this guy, he was drafted. He got drafted while he was injured on the torn ACL, and the Magic took a chance on him, and he ended up making his debut. This season, and he looked like a pretty decent basketball player. He's 6'6". To me, he's like a 3-and-D player, man. He can shoot the ball. He can spot. He's a great spot up shooter. He's good at cutting, and he's pretty good at defense, man. He has a great reaction time, and I feel like in the games that he played this year, he didn't play many. He showed some flashes of how valuable he can be to this team. There was a couple of games where he went and got 18 points. So I think now that once he gets his legs back under him and continue to develop more, he's going to be better. And then you look at these guys that the Magic drafted this year. You look at Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony shows he might not have been the most talented player in his draft class, but he has that, he has a pretty good personality. He's a pretty cool person. It seemed like the teammates like him. They enjoy being around him. But he averaged 13 points this season. I think that's pretty impressive for a rookie to go out there and average 13. And he had a game where he went for 37 points. So that's big time for him. He had to step up and play a lot of minutes for the Magic this year, and I feel like that's gonna help him out tremendously. And I'm not saying the Magic should build around Cole Anthony, but he seems like a player that's going to be, he can go out there and get you 15, 17 points a game, whether you starting them or bringing them off the bench. And that's valuable for any team. And then they draft Arjun Hampton. We all know what he did this season. He averaged about 11 points. He showed that he can score the ball. And you still got you got Wendell Carter. He's pretty decent. He's just I don't know. He's just in a weird. He's more of a. He doesn't translate to today's NBA. The way he played just can't. He can't succeed at the best way he can, because to me he's more of a back to the basket player. And that's just not, unless you Joel Embiid or Nikola Jokic or AD, that's just not, the team's just not gonna play through you that way. So, but he still he still can go out there and get you 11 points, grab some rebounds. And now we get to these draft picks. And we get to these draft picks, and the Orlando Magic have the 5th pick and they have the 8th pick. And it's really interesting to me for the Orlando Magic, because this is a very young team. Really all these players are brand new. So the Orlando Magic, they don't really have an identity yet. So when they go in to draft these players, it's hard for them to go and look and see what we need, because they don't really have an identity. And looking at this team, they have plenty of guards. So many guards: R.J. Hampton, Markelle Fultz, Cole Anthony. They have Gary Harris from the Nuggets. So if I was them, I'm trying to stay away from that guard spot, because we have so many of them. And you look at their front court, and the only center on their team for real is Wendell Carter. Everybody else is listed as a forward, including Jonathan Isaac. So if I'm the Orlando Magic, I'm looking to build my front court. But the thing is, they get the 5th and the 8th pick in the draft. So and really, there's no bigs. There's really no other bigs in this draft that's as high as Evan Mobley. So as a the Magic can probably look for a center later in the draft, but and right now with those 5th and 8th picks, I think they should look at the forward spot. And I think they need to add some players that can defend to their team. Some defensive stoppers. And I think some players they can look at, Scotty Barnes. He's big and athletic, and he can he can play make. He's not a knockdown shooter, but he can shoot the ball. There's definitely room for improvement. You look at a guy like Jonathan Kuminga. He's not even 19 years of age yet. He's only 18. He's 6'8" with like a 7'2" wingspan. His physical attributes are off the chart, man. He's very athletic, fast, strong. He can jump. And the only thing that Jonathan Kuminga needs, he needs to, hone his skills. He just needs to be developed, because, I feel like if he gets a jump shot, gets a knockdown jump shot, he can develop into an all-star. So, I feel like those are the type of guys the Magic should be looking at. Jalen Johnson is another small forward. He can score the ball, he can shoot, he can do a little bit of everything. And I think it's just gonna be a little tricky for the Magic, because they, you want to draft. I think you look at them, you draft them at 5 and 8. You're not gonna get one of the best players in the draft, so you try to go for fit. But it's like it's only the Orlando Magic, only that organization, the personnel can know what we need. So we gonna see what they pick. All the Orlando Magic fans, they just gonna have to be, they're gonna have to trust their organization, and they're gonna have to just, believe that they make the best fits, that's best for the team, because, it's a very interesting situation. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen, man. But I think the sky's the limit for this team. They have a lot of good players. I'm really excited to see Jonathan Isaac. I think he's really gonna be good in this league, man. But that's gonna be it for this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like. Comment down below what do you think the Magic should do with those 2 draft picks, and subscribe, man. Subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, and hey, that's curtains.